Good evening and welcome back to the news. The decision whether commercial flights can resume on the 1st of August will be known next week. The Minister for Tourism, Didier Doglé, said the decision will be taken after the high-level committee chaired by President Danifo agrees that preparations at all levels in all the sectors are in place to prevent and, should the need arise, to detect and manage COVID-19 cases. The high-level committee met this morning for the first review of the mechanisms that are in place, and they will be meeting again on the 21st of July. That's 1 week from now. Minister Doglé said that the level of preparation in most organizations are acceptable, but more effort is needed to bring those lacking behind to a comfortable level of preparedness.
Some organizations are taking it very seriously, and a number of them has already reached 100%, which is very encouraging. And some are at 60%, and others are still lagging behind. So definitely we will have a second review on the 21st, which is next week. And we hope by then that everybody would have reached at least a certain level so that we can be confident and comfortable with the 1st of August reopening of Seychelles to commercial flights and foreign visitors. The President has asked us to go back and redouble our efforts and to ensure that whatever is still outstanding, to make sure that we do our level best to achieve those by the 21st. So this is the position of the meeting.
The Department of Health says so far over 400 tests have been carried out on the West African seafarers who are crew members of Spanish fishing vessels. Health Commissioner Dr. Jude Gedeon says many of them who had initially tested positive have recovered and are now negative. He says only one is left at the family hospital and is recovering well. The 6 latest Seychellois who tested positive for COVID-19 are still in isolation at the family hospital at Ile Perseverance.
We have at least 37 active cases that have been retested positive, and 30 are being reclassified, and we anticipate that most of them in this group will be negative as well. So things are looking promising. We continue to work with the shipping agents to ensure that people who are on board, who've been tested positive, are properly managed until such time that they are fully recovered and returned back to work. Some vessels have actually moved out of the quarantine zone after everybody on board had been tested negative. And right now we have 4 vessels for Seaworld and 2 for Handelta that still remain in quarantine with the remaining positive cases. We encourage the public to wear a mask where social distancing is not possible, but more generally, when you're in public places, you never know when somebody's going to come close to you and cough in your face. So wear a mask as a habit.
Since the month of March, 460 workers have lost their jobs due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The Department of Employment says so far it has registered applications from 133 businesses for redundancy. The redundancy will affect 1,210 workers. 740 of them are Seychellois and 470 are expatriates. The Director of Labor Relations at the Department of Employment, Steve Monet, says employers have many options for redundancy, but this must be according to the law.
It is important employers know what are their options, especially now during the COVID. Okay, we've had employers using the wrong section of the law to terminate an employee. Some employers have frustrated contracts. Some employers have vary certain contracts, meaning the salary, the working hours, the post title. Some of the variation are not even in writings. As per the law, you need to, when you are varying the contract of an employee, it needs to be in writing and you need to get the consent of the worker. We've had instances where certain variations being proposed to the worker and the worker did not agree, and we find that the variation still proceeds without the consent of the worker. We've had employees that when you look at the certain conditions, it looks like a demotion. You come from a managerial post to maybe a junior post, the salary is reduced. So when you question, when you look at the perception of the employer, it's totally different. And you see there's some misunderstanding of the law, somewhere, somehow.
The Seychelles Pension Fund has officially handed over to the government 42 condominium units at Ile Perseverance. The government has purchased the condominiums from the Seychelles Pension Fund at a sum of 68.5 million rupees. The transfer of the condominium units was effected recently, whereby the Minister for Housing, Pamela Charlotte, presented the Chief Executive Officer of the Pension Fund, Mrs. Lekana, the check payment on behalf of the government. She also received the keys to the condominiums. The Chief Executive of the Seychelles Pension Fund, Lekana, and her counterpart of the Property Management Corporation, PMC, Evelina Onta, signed the transfer agreement. The condominium apartments are under the management of PMC, while the Department of Housing within the Ministry of Habitat, Infrastructure and Land Transport will be handling the allocation procedures. Today, the 14th of July, is France National Day. President Danifort has sent a congratulatory message to his French counterpart, Emmanuel Macron, on the occasion. He has also sent wishes of progress and prosperity to the president and the French people. President Faure highlighted the excellent and friendly relations that exist between the two countries, which have strong historical and cultural links. President Faure also commended the initiatives of President Macron to promote multilateralism, dialogue, and peace in the world. We've come to the end of this news summary. Thank you for watching. Good evening.